Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jason McNeil. As always, this is Cup of Joe Canada. Now, today on the show, I want to discuss language. I know I have done a video on this previously about the deterioration of language and the inability to communicate and use language appropriately, the ambiguity of words in the media, etc. And I think it has a lot to do with why we're having so much trouble with this COVID nonsense. So recently, you may have heard that we've had some issues with politicians taking vacations, not adhering to the guidelines, whatever. It happened in America. It's happening in Canada. The Ontario Finance Minister went to St. Bart's. We had a bunch of MLAs take Hawaiian vacations in Alberta. There was a NDP shadow critic in Manitoba that went to Greece to visit ailing relatives. So a lot of this is going on. Now, outside of just them being hypocrites and whatever else, I want to actually talk about the impact this is having on us with the messaging of what's being said not matching the messaging of what's being done. So I would put the argument forward that at no point in this whole crisis has our government taken it seriously. Like the leadership, whether it's government, whether it's media, they have not taken the coronavirus seriously in their actions. They've taken it seriously in their words. They say it's serious. They say we got a lockdown. They say all this stuff. But here's the thing. Words have meanings. And in Canada, we have not had a lockdown. We have not had quarantines. And we are not isolating. These are the things. We use these words, but we use them to describe something that they don't mean. Okay? So isolating doesn't mean see less people, try to keep it to a minimum. It means isolating. If you had Ebola, you would isolate. People would isolate you, right? You'd be isolated. We don't have that. We don't fear it like that. We don't do that, but we say we're isolating, self-isolating. Quarantine is not a voluntary thing. Quarantine is quarantine. Again, if people had Ebola, we'd be quarantining them. We say we need to quarantine. We need to be serious. But we don't. We say, go ahead, go to your home. Please stay away from people. That's not happening. And then lockdown. Listen, around the world, there have been lockdowns, right? In China, lockdown means we weld you in your home and you can't leave. In Australia, lockdown meant you can't go 5 kilometers from your house. The only reason you're allowed to leave would be to get groceries or for medical supplies or stuff like that. They actually have checkpoints and they're monitoring the people. That's their lockdown. Our lockdown is nothing. We lock down the border. I can fly to Mexico, take a vacation and fly back, where I'll be asked to voluntarily quarantine, right? I can go to New York. I can go anywhere I want and come back. There's no lockdown. They keep saying the extension of the border lockdown, the extension of the border. There's no border lockdown. People are taking vacations in the United States and coming home. People are taking vacations in Europe. People are taking vacations in South America, wherever they want to go. There is no border lockdown. We're not shutting down. You may have heard recently, January 7th, we're going to start demanding that people have negative COVID tests before they can enter the country. January 7th, it's been 9 months, right? And we haven't figured that one out yet because we're not serious. We're not taking it seriously. This is nonsense. Now we say, oh, we got to be serious. We got to lock down. We're going to close the border. And the media allows words like lockdown to be put forward. Look at Doug Ford's little, I don't know if you saw the little silly color-coded thing where it's like yellow, green, blue, and eventually you get to red and then gray is lockdown. Lockdown is not a lockdown. When he implemented this nonsense thing, Toronto was already in red, one step away from lockdown. Then we went to lockdown. Then he put the province in lockdown. But the province is in lockdown. It's not changing for Toronto. We were already in lockdown. How many cars do you see on the road? Have you felt in this holiday vacation time that you were locked down? You couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't do anything. Did you feel that way? Or did you feel like either I'm going to by myself decide not to do things, or I'm going to by myself decide to do things? And that's it. Because there is no lockdown. There is no real quarantine. There's no stringent actual legislation. There's nothing actually stopping people from doing anything, right? We say, oh, please don't, you shouldn't, it's not good, but we do anyway.